Welcome, everyone, to this meeting of the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich. Might as well get right into the meeting. Tara, Clerk Tara, resolution, please.
Moved by Drewlard, seconded by Dreyfus, that the meeting of the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich opens at 5:00 p.m. Councillor Pemberton,
Yes.
Councillor Drewlard,
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz,
Yes,
and that's carried.
because Councillor Dreyfus is remote, we've got to do it a little differently. It's like a recorded vote, just so council and everybody understands. Any declaration of pecuniary interest? I see none, but I have one to declare. And under Planning Department 7B, the zoning bylaw amendment, I will excuse myself. Deputy Mayor Loveland will handle that part of the meeting. My family is involved in this land purchase. Okay, adoption of the draft minutes. Clerk Tara.
Is there any amendments to the minutes?
Okay, minutes adopted as distributed. Number 4, review of items not listed on the agenda. Anything, Clerk Tara?
I just have one resolution to add under unfinished business. We need to confirm that we received the annual compliance report from the Water Department last meeting.
Thank you. At this time, this is our first meeting since the passing of our neighbor's mayor, Mayor McPhail. I would like to take a minute to recognize Mayor McPhail. He had a long career in municipal politics. He was Elgin County Warden in 2000, 2001, and 2019. He was a good friend and a good neighbor to Dutton Dunwich. He was also a mentor, certainly to myself and to many councilors that have followed in his footprints. His common sense and unique way of explaining things, even I could understand the issues. Duncan certainly cut a wide swath through West Elgin and the entire county of Elgin, and it was a testament to his celebration of life, the enormous crowds that were there. That certainly made the family feel better. He will be missed. I'd like to take a moment now, if we could just stand and observe a moment of silence in memory of Mayor Duncan McPhail. Thank you. Number 6 is the Drainage Department. We've got quite an agenda here. Brent, I'd ask you to come up and take it away. Under 6A, we're going to receive the engineer's report on the Dunwich Dutton School Drain.
We're receiving it and we'll hold the meeting to consider it the next regular council meeting, along with the Gordon Campbell drain.
Any questions from council? Seeing none. Clerk Tara, resolution, please.
Moved by Dreyfus, seconded by Pemberton, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the engineer's report for the Dunwich Dutton School Drain and instructs the clerk to notify everyone required to be notified under Section 41 of the Drainage Act, and that council will hold a meeting to consider the report at their regular council meeting, April 12th, 2023, at approximately 6 p.m. Councillor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Drewlard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreifout, Counselor Dreifout,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz,
Yes.
and that's carried.
Good, thank you. 6B, a petition to abandon a portion of the AA patent drain bylaw 1808. Brent, go ahead.
So my report's before you. As part of my attachments, I provided the process under section 84 to abandon a drain. Mr. Marentet went out to all his neighbors and talked with all his neighbors and got enough signatures, in my opinion, to meet the requirements of section 84. So council can receive this petition, and your next step is to decide whether you wish to proceed with abandonment or not. If you wish to proceed with the abandonment, then we'd be obligated to send notice to all the affected landowners, and they would have 10 days from the date of the mailing to reply that they didn't want the drain abandoned or they want an engineer to do an investigation. If we receive nothing, then council can pass a bylaw at their next meeting to abandon that section. This has all come about because Mr. Marentet wants to tile his field. As you can see in my report, we've repaired this drain 27 times since I've been, 27 holes we've repaired in this farm on this section of drain since I've been employed with the municipality of Dunwich since 2009. And we got one more we know of to repair this spring if we don't abandon this drain. And Mr. Marentet would, his solution here would be to abandon it. We have a drain installed in 2005 that was one size bigger. The tile below wasn't changed in 2005 and the tile above wasn't changed in 2005. So any questions?
Questions from council? So we're just going to receive your report. What is the next step then, Brent?
I think in my resolution that I recommended that council decides to will proceed with the abandonment, and then we'll send the notices. I'll work with Star tomorrow to get those notices prepared. And the one person who didn't sign the petition, we will send him a full copy of my report that council saw. All the other landowners I talked to personally as well, and they were in favor, they weren't opposed to it anyways.
Okay, thank you. Resolution, Clerk Tara.
Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Loveland, that the council of the municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the report of the drainage superintendent titled Petition to Abandon a Portion of the AA Patent Drain Bylaw 1808, dated March 22nd, 2023, for information, and that council receives the petition for the abandonment of a part of a drainage works from Lawrence Marentet and neighbors that meets the requirements of section 84(1) of the Drainage Act. Now therefore, council decides to abandon the section of the 1960 drain located on Mr. Marentet's property. And further, that council instructs the clerk to send the required notice to all owners of land assessed for the drainage works, stating its intention to abandon the part of the 1960 tile portion located wholly within the lands of Lawrence Marentet, located in concession to northeast quarter of lot 14. Councillor Pemberton,
Yes.
Councillor Drewlard,
Yes.
Councillor Dreifout,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz.
Yes.
And that's carried.
The next one is 6C, a resolution regarding CN rail failure to comply with the Drainage Act. Do you want to speak to that, Brent?
Okay. My report's before you. For full disclosure, I do not know of any lands owned by CN within the municipality of Dutton Dunwich. But they are federally regulated. And there's other organizations out there that are federally regulated, like Enbridge, who we're well aware of, have decided to charge $200 a locate. They might see that CN's getting away with it and they might come online. We have to deal with Enbridge in a number of areas in the municipality. And also, this is just to throw some support behind other other municipalities that are having issues. There's quite a few issues up around Sarnia, Southwest Middlesex. Township of Southold we've been waiting for $180,000 for 3 years now that they haven't paid on drainage assessments. And we're small potatoes now compared to some of the other municipalities that are waiting. The other issue is work's not even getting done because they won't even engage with the municipality or the engineer on new drainage projects. So, this is basically throwing support to neighboring municipalities, and hopefully Enbridge doesn't catch on as well, so.
Okay, it's been going on for quite some time. And
Yes, probably 4 or 5 years since, been going on 4 or 5 years, from when we dealt with the Wonderland Road drains, when the county improved Wonderland Road in the township of Southold. CN didn't engage there until the last minute, and I think there was extenuating circumstances as to why they got involved with us there, because we were doing a sanitary main and we had a captive audience of some CN employees at that meeting. And it's frustrating that they're not being good neighbors and good landowners and abiding by the laws of our province, so.
Anything from council? Resolution, Clerk Tara.
So I have two resolutions. Moved by Loveland, seconded by Dreyfus, that the council of the municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the report of the drainage superintendent titled Resolution regarding CN Rail failure to comply with the Drainage Act dated March 22nd, 2023 for information. Councillor Pemberton?
Yes.
Councillor Droulard?
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland?
Yes.
Mayor Hens?
Yes.
And that's carried.
Okay.
And the second resolution, moved by Dreyfus, seconded by Pemberton, whereas municipal drains are considered critical rural infrastructure that support food production, food security, the environment, and economic sustainability in rural Ontario, and whereas the creation, maintenance, and contribution requirements towards municipal drains infrastructure are governed by the Drainage Act, and whereas the implication that any public utility could be exempt from the financial requirements invalidates the underlying principle that all benefiting from the municipal drain projects are required to contribute financially, including all public utilities. And whereas there are currently at least 55 municipal drainage projects in Ontario being impacted by CN's actions and refusal to contribute as per the Drainage Act, and whereas the municipality of Dutton Dunwich and many rural municipalities have expressed concerns over the CN rail position to the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs consistently over at least the past 4 years. Now therefore, the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich hereby declares as follows. That Ontario's Drainage Act is an important piece of legislation used to meet the drainage needs of a variety of stakeholders, including agricultural businesses, and ultimately food production, thereby supporting families, neighbors, and thriving communities, and that CN Rail be called upon to act as a partner to municipalities and agriculture in Ontario and reconsider its position that the Drainage Act does not apply as a public entity, and that CN Rail contribute to all municipal drains in Ontario as per Section 26 of the Drainage Act, and to expedite its response timelines to the 55 projects currently on hold in Ontario, so that the projects impacting the agriculture sector can proceed and be dealt with in a timely manner after years of delay caused directly by CN Rail, and that a copy of the resolution be forwarded to Omar Al-Gahabra, Minister of Transport, the Honourable Karen Vecchio, MP, Elgin Middlesex, London, Honourable Mary Claude Bibeau, Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada, Honourable Lisa Thompson, Minister of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, Honourable Caroline Mulroney, Minister of Transportation, Honourable Steve Clark, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, the Honourable Rob Flack, MPP, Elgin Middlesex, London, Councillor Colin Best, President of the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, AMO, Councillor Region of Halton, Mayor Robin Jones, Rural Ontario Municipal Association, Roma, Chair, Mayor, Village of Westport, Paul Shopman, President, Ontario Good Roads Association. Councillor Pemberton,
Yes.
Councillor Droulard, sorry,
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hens,
Yes,
and that's carried.
thank you. Okay, 6D, the Pierce Drain tender results. Brent, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, my report's before you. I apologize. There's an error in there that was brought to my attention. The second Gilliard drainage should be Glovan Excavating for $73,000 in my report. But anyways, the good news is the bids came in at 78% and a little bit of the engineer's estimate. So that's a significant savings. And so the municipality is going to be saving about $3,200 on their estimated assessment.
Anything from council? Excellent report, Brent, and I think your work and your timing helped in this case as people are lining up projects for the year. So thank you for that, and the landowners will certainly appreciate it.
The other thing that's going on, as you can, sorry, through you, Mayor, as you can see from the number of interested bidders, there is a lot more competition out there now. This project was, doesn't require a wheel machine, and there was 21 that I circulated to, and we got about 10 back on this one. So
Good news all the way around. Clerk Tara, resolution, please.
Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Droulard, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the report of the Drainage Superintendent titled Pierce Drain Tender Results dated March 22nd, 2023 for information, and that Council awards Gilliard Drainage Incorporated the contract for the construction of the Pierce Drain in the amount of $25,620 plus HST, and further that Council instructs the Mayor and Clerk to sign the contract and forward a copy to the contractor. Councillor Pemberton,
Yes.
Councillor Droulard,
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hens.
Yes,
And that's carried.
thank you. Six E, the Dude Ranch Hill Drain tender results. Brent, you can speak to that as well?
through you, Mayor, and to the rest of council, this project, it's a little more challenging, and we received 8 bids back. And again, they were favorable. The engineer's estimate was 78.4. The low bid was from McNally Excavating. They're a company that also has a wheel machine, but they won't be using their wheel machine here, but they're a new company that's come out in the last 3 or 4 years. They've bid before, and Spreed has had good experience with them on other projects in other municipalities. So their bid was 94% of the engineer's estimate, which will make a savings of about $4,000 to the municipality's assessment on this project. So we'll be down to about 83,655. So
Okay, thank you. Anything from council? Seeing nothing, Clerk Tara, resolution, please.
Moved by Droulard, seconded by Loveland, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the report of the Drainage Superintendent titled Dude Ranch Hill Drain Tender Results dated March 22nd, 2023 for information, and that Council awards McNally Excavating Limited the contract for the construction of the Dude Ranch Hill Drain in the amount of $73,673.87 plus HST. And further that Council instructs the Mayor and Clerk to sign the contract and forward a copy to the contractor. Councillor Pemberton,
Yes.
Councillor Droulard,
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hens.
Yes,
And that's carried.
okay. Thank you, Brent. With council's consent, we're gonna jump around on the agenda here. We're a little early for our committee of adjustment. Tracy is with us, I believe. Yeah, I see her there. Tracy, is there anything in planning that we can handle at this time?
For you, Mr. Mayor, no, everything is scheduled for 5:30 or later.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to correspondence. We've got about 10 minutes. We may not get through it all, but we can get a start on it. 8A is the Ministry of Natural Resources Forestry, an invitation to legacy oil and gas wells and subsurface gas migration hazard listening session. Council, want to question or comment on that? I will report that I'm going to attend one of those sessions in Chatham on March 31st. There's also one in Simcoe. It's something we should be aware of. So a resolution, please, Clerk Tara.
Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Dreyfus, that correspondence item 8A from the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry be received and filed. Councillor Pemberton,
Yes.
Councillor Droulard,
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus,
I saw him, but I couldn't.
Councillor Dreyfus, you might be on mute.
Yes.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz,
Yes,
and that's carried.
thank you. 8B, Municipality of Chatham, Kent, Support Bill 5, Stopping Harassment and Abuse by Local Leaders Act. Any comments from council on that issue? I don't see any. Resolution, please, Clerk Tara.
Moved by Dreyfus, seconded by Loveland, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich supports the resolution from the Municipality of Chatham, Kent, supporting Bill 5, Stopping Harassment and Abuse by Local Leaders Act, requiring the Code of Conduct for municipal councillors and members of local boards to include a requirement to comply with workplace violence and harassment policies, and permit municipalities and local boards to direct the Integrity Commissioner to apply to the court to vacate a member's seat if the Commissioner's inquiry determines that the member has contravened their requirement. And that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to Rob Flack, MPP, Karen Vecchio, MP, and the Municipality of Chatham, Kent. Councillor Pemberton,
Yes.
Councillor Droulard,
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz,
Yes,
and that's carried.
thank you. C, the Town of Carlton Place, a resolution declaring intimate partner violence and violence against women an epidemic. Any comments from council? We've all had a chance to read all of this correspondence, so Clerk Tara, resolution, please.
Moved by Loveland, seconded by Droulard, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich supports the resolution from the Town of Carlton Place declaring intimate partner violence and violence against women an epidemic as per recommendation number 1 of the Renfrew Council jury recommendations, and that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to Rob Flack, MPP, Karen Vecchio, MP, and the Town of Carlton Place. Councillor Pemberton,
Yes.
Councillor Droulard,
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz,
Yes,
and that's carried.
thank you. D, West Lorne Minor Hockey Association Craft Hockeyville Rally Request for support. And I'm going to ask Deputy Mayor Loveland to speak to this.
Thanks, Mayor Hentz. We had a arena board meeting this morning and we dealt with, through the arena board, we dealt with the request for funding from both municipalities. Thought it was more appropriate to fund that through the normal process. So the funding was approved. A couple of comments, they've done very well to get this far in this process. Not sure, what's going to happen, but they're working very hard at it. This is going to mean, though, that we're going to have to sit down. If they're successful, we're going to have to sit down and do some long-term planning on the arena as to where we're going here. $250 is a lot of money, but it doesn't get done much in this economy. So it's something just wanted to mention to everyone that it's not going to be the end when they get approved, and hope they do, but it will be something we can work towards. Certainly, as a former user of the arena, I support their requests for the other assistance they required. I hope that we'll be putting some information on our sign out there if we haven't already done that. I know there's a very active group putting a lot of effort in that, and it's nice to see the community responding to, both communities responding on a joint basis to that. So I think that's about all I have to say.
Further from council on that one? I see none. I agree. This is a big deal. To even get this far is really something. So their request is certainly something that I guess I can support as well. It's not cheap, but a job well done, and let's hope they win this thing. A resolution, Clerk Tara.
Moved by Drewlard, seconded by Dreyfus, that the council of the municipality of Dutton Dunwich supports the West Lorne Comet's request for support for Craft Hockeyville rally and voting, and that council waives the cost to use the Dutton Community Center for the evening of March 31st and full day April 1st in the amount of $810 plus HST, and that council approves the borrowing of 10 fire tablets for use during voting, and that council approves a cash donation through the West Elgin Arena Board towards posters, signs, business cards, and other promotional products. Councillor Pemberton,
Yes.
Councillor Drewlard,
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz,
Yes.
and that's carried.
Eight E, the Town of Essex, tax classification of short-term rental units. Any discussion on that one? See none. Clerk Tara, resolution, please.
Moved by Dreyfus, seconded by Loveland, that the council of the municipality of Dutton Dunwich supports the town of Essex request for the Municipal Property Assessment Corporation, MPAC, Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, and other relevant bodies to investigate the tax classification of short-term rental units and consider taxing them as commercial as opposed to residential, and that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to Rob Flack, MPP, Karen Vecchio, MP, and the town of Essex. Councillor Pemberton,
Yes.
Councillor Drewlard,
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz,
Yes,
and that's carried.
thank you. F, Municipality of North Perth, school bus stop arm cameras. Anybody want to speak to that? I see nothing. Resolution, please, Clerk Tara.
Moved by Loveland, seconded by Pemberton, that the council of the municipality of Dutton Dunwich supports the resolution from the municipality of North Perth urging the provincial government to require all school buses to have a stop arm camera installed and paid for by the province for the start of the 2023-2024 school year, and underrate the costs for the implementation and ongoing annual costs for administrative monetary penalties in small and rural communities, and that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to Rob Flack, MPP, Karen Vecchio, MP, and the municipality of North Perth. Councillor Pemberton,
Yes.
Councillor Drewlard,
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz,
Yes.
and that's carried.
Okay, G, Municipality of Chatham-Kent, a resolution reducing municipal insurance costs. Any comments from council? Resolution, please, Clerk Tara.
Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Drewlard, that the council of the municipality of Dutton Dunwich supports the municipality of Chatham-Kent collaboration to determine what tools may be available to reduce insurance costs, including cooperative purchasing of insurance, creation of a municipal reciprocal insurance provider, or legislative changes to address insurance costs to municipalities, and that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to the municipality of Chatham-Kent. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Droulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreifelt,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hens,
Yes.
and that's carried.
Okay, we are back at 5:30, so we're going to stop with the correspondence at this point. We'll come back to it later, and we're going to deal with planning. And it's a committee of adjustment. Clerk Tara, if you could get us into that.
I've got two resolutions to get us in. So moved by Loveland, seconded by Pemberton, that the regular meeting end to sit as a committee of adjustment hearing to hear applications MV2/23 filed by Michael Frada and Malgorzata Adamski Frada, and MV3-23 filed by Wayne and Debbie Wright at 5:30 PM. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Droulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreifelt,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hens.
Yes.
And that's carried. And one more. Moved by Dreifelt, seconded by Loveland, that the meeting of the Committee of Adjustment for Minor Variance Application File MV2/23 filed by Michael Frada and Malgorzata Adamski Frada, and MV3-23 filed by Wayne and Debbie Wright opens at 5:31 PM. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Droulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreifelt,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hens,
Yes.
and that's carried.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're now into a committee of adjustment. The previous meeting minutes. Are there any corrections to the minutes? I see nothing. There being no corrections, the minutes are approved as distributed. I will call this Committee of Adjustment hearing to order. This application for a minor variance pursuant to Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, RSO 1990, as amended, is required for the following reasons. To request relief from the zoning bylaw to increase the maximum lot coverage from 35% to 46% for the lot, Section 12.1.3, and decrease the minimum setback of the accessory structure from the main building from 2 meters to 1.27 meters, Section 4.2H. Does any member of council have a disclosure of interest concerning the proposals? See none? What method of notice and when was the notice given to the public for this meeting?
A sign was posted on the subject property prior to the March 10th, 2023 deadline, and notices were mailed to property owners within 60 meters of the subject property prior to the March 8th, 2023 deadline.
Thank you. I'm going to introduce our planner, Tracy. You can present your report.
Thank you very much, through you, to the committee. So this is an application for minor variance submitted by the property owners. The address is 298 Nancy Street, which is the new subdivision in our hamlet of Dutton. The property is currently vacant, but it is proposed to build a single detached dwelling, a pool, and a detached pool house / shed, what we are considering as a accessory building because it's detached from the main dwelling. Residential uses surround the subject property in addition to agriculture and stormwater management facility located to the north of the site. So the purpose of the application, as advertised in the notice, is incorrect. It has been brought to our attention that it should be 30%, it should be 35% as per the requirements of the zoning bylaw. So that was an error. So the relief for lot coverage is from 35% to 46%. And then the setback from the accessory structure to the main dwelling is a reduction from 2 meters to 1.27 meters. So based on the circulation to public agencies and departments, I just wanted to highlight that drainage department did question stormwater management. And the building department did confirm that they received a revised lot grading plan. It is requested, though, that prior to the issuance of the building permit, a peer review of the new grading plan be done, because it is going to be different than what the original subdivision design was for. One letter from neighbor was received. Not sure if council has that with them, or if you need us to read that out loud, just let myself or the clerk know. So when you're looking at a minor variance application, there are 4 tests that you need to put it through. And it has to be supported by all 4 tests, not just 1 or 2 of the total tests. So the one test is that, does it maintain the intent and purpose of the zoning and the official plan? And in this case, residential is permitted, so it does support that. Is the variance request desirable for the appropriate and orderly development use of the lands and buildings? So the position that administration is taking is that the relief does not cause any concerns with the privacy of any abutting property owners. The stormwater management pond is located to the north, and the building itself will not exceed 1 story. The revised lot grading plan will be part of that building permit to make sure that it does not cause any overland flow to any of the abutting properties with respect to drainage. And the 4th test is that, is it minor? Now, minor isn't always a mathematical equation. It's more about the degree of impact. So the situation here is that the characteristic of the area will not be impacted. It'll remain the same. Accessory structures and pool houses are quite common in residential neighborhoods. So administration is recommending that the minor variance application be approved, and I'd be happy to answer any questions at the appropriate time.
Thank you, Tracy. Is the owner of this property present? And do you have anything you want to add at this time?
Yes, my wife, Deborah, and I are present.
Okay, do you both want to speak, or?
We'll try.
She's pointing at you.
We're concerned with some of the statements that were just made. Number one being a minor increase is not really going from 35 to 46. We're particularly worried over the water that is already, the drainage is already not good in Dutton area. And by adding this building and extending the an extra building and the lot itself, there's also the fact that if they're going to be putting in a pool and then there's the pool deck, there'll even be less drainage. So we're very concerned that the water drainage a lot is going to impact neighbors as well.
Okay,
Point of order.
I'm sorry here. I asked for the owner of the property.
That's not you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're the owner of the property. Okay, would you like to speak to this issue? Yeah, okay, have a seat. Please just identify yourself.
Hi, my name is Małgorzata Adamski-Frada. You can call me Maggie to make it easier. Regarding the drainage, we're willing to work with whatever the engineers of the property and grading want us to do, whether that means extra drains or not is, of course, their department. The pool is, from my understanding, not included in the lot coverage size, if that is correct.
Tracy, can you confirm that? The pool?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I confirm the pool is not part of lot coverage.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and if it's in regards to the pool house, we are willing to reduce it should that be more desirable for the area. And I do just want to throw out the reason that we had gone and switched our plans. We do have plans approved for this house, for this lot already as a 2-story. The reason we chose to make it a bungalow is because all the houses on that street are bungalow style, and we just thought it'd be more aesthetically pleasing to the area. On the other side, they're double and 2-story. So that is one of the reasons we did switch it over. So just trying to fit everything in.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody from the committee have any questions or comments on this proposal? Councillor Pemberton.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, and through you. I guess I'm glad to hear you're willing to work with the drainage and stuff. And as much as the pool itself isn't part of lot coverage, it does impact the drainage greatly with the more hard surface that's there. So I think I'm curious to know if we can put a condition on that the minor variance only be approved if the engineers come back with positive reports saying it can comply with our approved drainage plan and doesn't adversely affect the neighbors.
Okay. Anything else from council? I don't see anything. Tracy, would you, oh, sorry, Deputy Mayor Loveland.
I guess I feel a little bit more comfortable that we have now realized it's going from 35% to 46%. And I guess the property owner mentioned that they may be willing to reduce the pool house a little bit if they had to. I guess my question is, how much could you reduce that? And if we didn't go quite to 46%?
Well, again, I don't know how to calculate all this, but whatever sizes, I guess, that you guys gave us is what we would have to work within, and then make it work that way, hopefully.
Thank you. Tracy, if just a comment on Councillor Pemberton's concerns as far as drainage and how would that get handled?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair. Generally, you do not put conditions on minor variances, but it's not impossible. So when you do a condition, it runs with the life of the decision. It's not like a severance where it's a condition that's removed. So in this case, we could put a condition that says that the increase in lot coverage is connected to making sure that lot grading peer review can be successfully obtained.
Do we not, with the building permit, expect or require certain lot grading specifications anyway?
Yes, through you, Mr. Mayor, the building permit not be issued. That is your second hammer to be able to regulate that nothing will be approved or built until it has a successful lot grading to the satisfaction of the CBO.
Thank you. Anything else from council? I don't see anything. Does the secretary treasurer have any comments from staff?
Yes, and they're summarized in the planner's report.
Does the secretary treasurer have any written submissions on this application?
Yes, and they were summarized in the planner's report.
And I also see it's up on the screen right at the present time. Okay, we got ahead of ourselves. Are there any persons present who were notified of this meeting and would like to comment on this application? Anyone else? I'm seeing nothing. Okay. Please be advised that the last day for appealing this decision is April 12th, 2023. If you wish to be notified of the decision of the committee in respect to this application, you must submit a written request to the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich Committee of Adjustment. If you are not the applicant, you should request a copy of the decision since it may be appealed to the Ontario Land Tribunal by the applicant or another member of the public. This Committee of Adjustment meeting is now concluded. Clerk Terrell.
Moved by Loveland, seconded by Pemberton, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the report of the planner titled Application for Minor Variance MV2/23 298 Nancy Street, Michael Frada and Malgorzata Adamski Frada, dated March 22nd, 2023 for information. Councillor Pemberton,
Yes.
Councillor Droulard,
Yes.
Councillor Dryfout,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hens.
Yes.
And that's carried. Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Droulard, that the Committee of Adjustment for the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich approves minor variance application MV 2/23 for property located at 298 Nancy Street in accordance with the site-specific decision sheet attached to the minutes of this meeting. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Droulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreifelt,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
I have a question before I go. If we're gonna put a condition, if we're gonna put a condition on it, is this where we do it now, before we approve this?
Tracy, comment, please.
Yes, this is where you would need to put some condition on that resolution, so be included in the decision sheet.
I would like, I would support it if we added a couple of conditions. One is that we get the drainage checked by a qualified engineer at the expense of the applicant. And I guess the second concern I have is this pool building. It's only has a setback of 1.07 meters from the side yard. And I think if I understand the drainage plan correctly, that's, there's got to be a swale there to take the water to the back. So I really would like to see that pool building moved. I know it meets the requirements, but I really would like to see it moved a little further away from the fence so that, or the property line, so that we have sufficient room for a proper swale there.
Did you catch all that, Tara? We'll have to go around the table again.
sorry.
That lot grading plan be reviewed by a qualified engineer. Side yard setback from the.
All right, so I will read the amendment to the motion and we will vote on the amendment. So moved by Pemberton, seconded by Droulard, that the Committee of Adjustment for the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich approves the minor variance application MV 2/23 for property located at 298 Nancy Street in accordance with the site-specific decision sheet attached to the minutes of this meeting, and that the following conditions be included. A lot grading plan be reviewed by an engineer at the owner's expense. B, the side yard of the pool house be made of sufficient size for a swale to handle the surface drainage. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Droulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreifelt,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hens.
Yes.
All right, so we'll go on to the motion being the same. Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Droulard, that the Committee of Adjustment for the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich approves the minor variance application MV 2/23 for property located at 298 Nancy Street in accordance with the site-specific decision sheet attached to the minutes of this meeting, and that the following conditions be included. A, lot grading plan be reviewed by an engineer at the owner's expense. B, the side yard of the pool house be made of sufficient size for a swale to handle the surface drainage. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Droulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreifelt,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
and Mayor Hens.
Yes.
And that's carried.
You understand? You're okay? Yeah. Just follow up with our planner, Tracy, and she can explain everything to you if you need further explanation. But I think it sounds like you're going to be okay to go. Okay. Thank you. Okay, I will call this Committee of Adjustment hearing to order. We have a second one. This application for a minor variance pursuant to Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, RSO 1990 as amended, is required for the following reasons. To request relief from the zoning bylaw to increase the maximum height of the additional residential unit from 6 meters to 7.01 meters, Section 4.2G, and to permit a 2-story ARU, Section 4.2G. Does any member of council have a disclosure of interest concerning these proposals? I see none. What method of notice and when was the notice given to the public for this meeting?
A sign was posted on the subject property prior to the March 10th, 2023 deadline, and notices were mailed to property owners within 60 meters of the subject property prior to March 8th, 2023 deadline.
Thank you. I will now introduce our planner, Tracy. You can give your report, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and through you to the committee. So this is a minor variance application as well. It was submitted by the property owner. The subject property is a corner parcel. It has an area of 41.66 hectares, so a very large piece. Property currently has a single detached dwelling and accessory structure with access from Willie Road. The property is serviced by municipal water and private septic system. There is a little woodlot on the northwest corner of the parcel, and part of that small woodlot is regulated by the Conservation Authority. So it is proposed to build an additional residential unit, or an ARU for short, and it's to be located on the very southwest corner of the parcel with access from Aberdeen Line, and residential and agricultural uses surround the property. So you, under your zoning bylaw and under the new bill 23, ARUs are permitted as of right. But in our zoning bylaw, we do regulate the height and the number of stories. So the purpose of the application is to ask for relief from the zoning bylaw to increase the height from 6 meters to 7.1 and to permit a second story. If you see with the elevations, it essentially looks like a garage, but has a second story apartment above it. So the application was circulated to public agencies and departments, and there were no comments. The CA confirmed that the particular area that's being constructed is outside of the regulated area, but they do ask prior to the issuance of the building permit that they do check for clearance. Looking at our 4 tests again for the minor variance, the zoning in the official plan intent does allow for ARUs. And the third test, is it appropriate? So the proposed relief does not cause any concerns. It's not anywhere near the existing cluster of buildings. It will be sitting on its own, and it will look like a detached garage. And is it minor in nature? And administration is taking the position that it is. It is set outside that woodlot, doesn't affect the regulated area. Now, one unique component about this property is that it's the property is listed under the Heritage Registry. And this was reviewed by the Heritage Committee, and they have no objections. The building is not anywhere near the existing house, which is what's triggering the property to be on the Heritage Registry, or any of the older barns. So it's set away. So if the property does become designated in the future, then there should be no concerns with designating it under the Ontario Heritage Act. So happy to answer any questions at the appropriate time.
Is the owner present? And do you have anything you would wish to add at this time? I don't think they are. Do the committee members have questions on the planning report? I'm not seeing any. Does the secretary treasurer have any comments from staff?
Yes, and they were summarized in the planner's report.
Okay. Does the secretary treasurer have any written submissions on this application?
Yes, and they were submitted or summarized in the planner's report.
Thank you. Are there any persons present who were notified of this meeting and would like to comment on this application? I don't see anybody or hear anybody. Okay. Finish up. Please be advised that the last day for appealing this decision is April 12th, 2023. If you wish to be notified of the decision of the committee in respect to this application, you must submit a written request to the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich Committee of Adjustment. If you are not the applicant, you should request a copy of the decision since it may be appealed to the Ontario Land Tribunal by the applicant or another member of the public. Resolution, please, Tara.
Moved by Drulard, seconded by Dreyfus, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the report of the planner titled Application for Minor Variance MV3/23 12107 Willie Road, Wayne and Debbie Wright, dated March 22nd, 2023 for information. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Drulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz.
Yes.
And that's carried. Moved by Dreyfus, seconded by Loveland, that the Committee of Adjustment for the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich approves minor variance application MV3/23 for property located at 12107 Willie Road in accordance with the site-specific decision sheet attached to the minutes of this meeting. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Drulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz,
Yes.
and that's carried.
Okay, this Committee of Adjustment meeting is now concluded. Tara.
Moved by Loveland, seconded by Pemberton, that the meeting of the Committee of Adjustment to hear minor variance application file MV2/23 filed by Michael Frada, ML Gajada, Adamski Frada, and MV3/23 filed by Wayne and Debbie Wright closes at 5:57 PM. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Drulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz.
Yes.
And that's carried. And one more. Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Drulard, that the regular meeting of council reconvenes at 5:57 PM. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Drulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz,
Yes.
and that's carried.
Okay, still under planning and under B. And this is the one that I've declared a conflict, so I will ask Deputy Mayor Loveland to take over from this point.
Thank you. We have to pass the resolution into the meeting. Go ahead, Eric.
Moved by Drulard, seconded by Dreyfus, that the public meeting to consider zoning bylaw amendment file ZBA 2/23 filed by David Harold and Mary Helen Durham, 31492 Pioneer Line, 31556 Pioneer Line, and vacant land located on the north side of Pioneer Line opens at 5:58 PM. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Drulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
and that's carried.
This is a public meeting as required by Section 34 of the Planning Act to afford any person an opportunity to make representation with respect to a proposed zoning bylaw amendment to rezone the subject property from special agricultural A2-12 zone to special rural residential RS-27 zone, and from agriculture A1 zone to special agricultural A2-12 zone with the following requested relief. Increase the maximum lot area from 8,093 square meters to 12,139.99 square meters for the severed lot. The subject property is locally known as 31492 Pioneer Line, 31556 Pioneer Line, and vacant land on the north side of Pioneer Line in the municipality of Dutton Dunwich. Does any member of council have a disclosure of interest concerning these proposals? Okay, seeing none. What method of notice and when was the notice given to the public for this meeting?
A sign was posted on the subject property by the March 3rd, 2023 deadline, and notices were mailed to property owners within 120 meters of the subject property on March 1st, 2023.
I'll introduce our planner and have her present the report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Actually, Mr. Deputy Mayor, and through you to council. So this is a zoning bylaw amendment public meeting. The application was submitted by the applicant on behalf of the owners. Support studies were presented, but were also shared with council at the time that the consent application was brought forward. So there are two applications for consent that are involved in this series of zoning bylaw amendments. One is to do a farm split, and one is to do a surplus dwelling. Now, this is part of a proposed consolidation of holdings. So the farm will end up being two large farms and one surplus dwelling. So there are some drains that cross the subject property. Only a portion of the property is regulated by the Conservation Authority. There's a small woodlot on the property. So as a condition of both severances, they needed to come in for a zoning bylaw amendment. So that notice was circulated to public agency and departments. There were no major comments to bring to your attention. And the consistency to the PPS, the county OP and the municipal OP were all determined at the time of the consent application. And then with their zoning, partial zoning right now is A2-12 and A1. So at the end of the process, all of it will be A2-12. And the -12 just limits the area to a minimum of 40 hectares. And then the special rural residential for the surplus dwelling will be site specific. That's the 27, because in our new zoning bylaw, we now have a maximum lot area. So it goes beyond that slightly. So administration is recommending that this application be approved, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that the committee or council might have at the appropriate time.
Thanks, Tracy. Clerk Tara, have you received any comments from staff?
Yes, and they're summarized in the planner's report.
Did you receive any written submissions on this application?
Yes, and they were summarized in the planner's report.
Before I open the floor to questions from the public, please be advised that if any person from the public wishes to receive further information on the action of council regarding the passing of a bylaw and the proposed amendment, please ensure that they leave their name, address, and postal code with the clerk prior to the end of this meeting. Does the applicant have any questions?
Good evening, Mr. Deputy Mayor, members of council. My name is Harry Frusios. I'm with Zelenka Priamo Limited. We're the authorized agents for both the current landowner and the future purchaser of the lands to be created. I just wanted to thank Tracy for her efforts in processing this application, bringing it forward for your consideration this evening. Obviously, we're in support of the staff recommendation. As was noted, this application is to facilitate two consent applications to create a new farm parcel that's going to be consolidated with existing farm operations and to deem a surplus dwelling lot. So this council has seen those applications and endorsed them already, and we've since had the applications approved by the County Land Division Committee. So hopefully we're just able to proceed to the next step of getting these lands rezoned. And as I said, I'm in support of the staff recommendation and just here this evening to answer any questions you may have. And also in attendance are the current landowner, Mr. David Durham, and the future owner, Mr. Peter Littlejohn. They're here in attendance as well, and we can answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. Do council members or any member of the public have any further questions? Seeing none, if there are no further questions, please be advised that any person wishing further information on the actions of council regarding the passing of a bylaw and the proposed amendment should leave their name, address, postal code with the clerk. If you are not the applicant, you should request a copy of the decision since it may be appealed to the Ontario Land Tribunal by the applicant or another member of the public. The last day for appeal is April 12th, 2023. Yes, we entertain a motion to accept the planner's report.
So I have two motions for you guys. Moved by Dreyfus, seconded by Drouillard, that the council of the municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the report of the planner titled Application for Zoning Bylaw Amendment ZBA 2/23, 31492 Pioneer Line, 31556 Pioneer Line, and vacant land located on the north side of Pioneer Line, municipality of Dutton Dunwich. David Harold and Mary Helen Durham, dated March 22nd, 2023 for information. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Drouillard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
and that's carried. Moved by Drouillard, seconded by Pemberton, that the council of the municipality of Dutton Dunwich approves zoning bylaw amendment ZBA 2/23 for property located at 31556 Pioneer Line and vacant land located at the north side of Pioneer Line from special agricultural A2/12 zone to special rural residential RS27 zone, and from agricultural A1 zone to special agricultural A2-12 zone in accordance with the site-specific bylaw 2023-21. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Drouillard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
and that's carried.
I guess this meeting is now, yep. Yes, this meeting is now concluded. Resolution to adjourn.
Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Drouillard, that the public meeting to consider zoning bylaw amendment file ZBA 2/23 filed by David Harold and Mary Helen Durham, 31492 Pioneer Line, 31556 Pioneer Line, and vacant land located on the north side of Pioneer Line closes at 6:07 PM. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Drouillard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
and that's carried.
Mayor Hens, you can have your job back.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Loveland. Okay, we're going to go to 7C, application for zoning bylaw amendment ZBA 323-28786 Aberdeen Line and 28800 Aberdeen Line, Carl McLeod and Sons Limited. Clerk Tara, please.
Moved by Drouillard, seconded by Dreyfus, that the public meeting to consider zoning bylaw amendment file ZBA 3/23 filed by Carl McLeod and Sons Limited, 28786 Aberdeen Line and 28800 Aberdeen Line opens at 6:08 PM. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Drouillard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hens,
Yes.
and that's carried.
Okay. This is a public meeting as required by Section 34 of the Planning Act to afford any person an opportunity to make representation with respect to a proposed zoning bylaw amendment to rezone the subject property from agricultural A1 zone and large lot agricultural A3 zone to special agricultural A2 zone and from large lot agricultural A3 zone to special rural residential RS zone. The subject property is locally known as 28786 Aberdeen Line and 28800 Aberdeen Line in the municipality of Dutton Dunwich. Does any member of council have a disclosure of interest concerning the proposals? I don't see any. What method of notice and when was the notice given to the public for this meeting?
A sign was posted on the subject property by March 3rd, 2023 deadline, and notice is mailed to property owners within 120 meters of the subject property on March 1st, 2023.
Thank you. We'll now introduce Planner Tracy. You can present your report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, through you to the council. The zoning bylaw amendment before you is also from a consent application, two consent applications actually, that have received approval from Land Division, and there are no appeals. So they're working on their removal of the conditions. The application was submitted by the owner of the property. It's a property that has two homes on it, and they are able to sever off each of the homes. And there is a small woodlot on the property, and agricultural and rural uses surround the subject lands. So as a condition of both of those consents, was required to rezone the property. There's nothing site-specific required for the amendment. The entire property is zoned A3, so the remnant piece is A2, so that no further severances would be allowed. And then the two existing homes would be moved to an RS zone, which acknowledges the existing homes and the uses for that property. So administration recommends that this request be approved, and happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Tracy. Have you received any comments from staff?
Yes, and they're summarized in the planner's report.
Did you receive any written submissions on this application?
Yes, and they're summarized in the planner's report.
Before I open the floor to questions from the public, please be advised that if any person from the public wishes to receive further information on the action of council regarding the passing of a bylaw on the proposed amendment, please ensure that they leave their names and address and postal code with the clerk prior to leaving the meeting. Is there any questions or comments from the public? I don't hear or see any. Do council members or any member of the public have any further questions? Nope, I see none. If there are no further questions, please be advised that any person wishing further information on the actions of council regarding the passing of a bylaw on the proposed amendment should leave their name, address, and postal code with the clerk prior to leaving the meeting. If you are not the applicant, you should request a copy of the decision, since it may be appealed to the Ontario Land Tribunal by the applicant or another member of the public. The last day to appeal is April 12th, 2023. Clerk Tara, resolution, please.
Moved by Dreyfus, seconded by Loveland, that the council of the municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the report of the planner titled Application for Zoning Bylaw Amendment ZBA 3/23 28786 Aberdeen Line and 28800 Aberdeen Line, Municipality of Dutton Dunwich, Carl McLeod and Sons Limited, dated March 22nd, 2023 for information. Councillor Pemberton?
Yes.
Councillor Droulard?
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland?
Yes.
Mayor Hentz?
Yes.
And that's carried. Moved by Loveland, seconded by Droulard, that the council of the municipality of Dutton Dunwich approves zoning bylaw amendment ZBA 3/23 for property located at 28786 Aberdeen Line and 28800 Aberdeen Line from agricultural A1 zone and large lot agricultural A3 zone to special agricultural A2 zone, from the large lot agricultural A3 zone to special rural residential RS zone, in accordance with the site-specific bylaw 2023/22. Councillor Pemberton?
Yes.
Councillor Droulard?
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland?
Yes.
Mayor Hentz?
Yes.
And that's carried.
Okay, this public meeting is now concluded. Clerk Tara.
Moved by Droulard, seconded by Pemberton, that the public meeting to consider zoning bylaw amendment file ZBA 3/23 filed by Carl McLeod and Sons Limited, 28786 Aberdeen Line and 28800 Aberdeen Line closes at 6:14 PM. Councillor Pemberton?
Yes.
Counselor Drewlar.
Yes.
Counselor Dreyfelt.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland.
Yes.
Mayor Hens.
Yes.
And that's carried.
Okay,
Just a
ahead.
quick question before we lose our planner here. Tracy, I wonder if you could give us a quick verbal update on where we are with our short-term rentals. I know there's a meeting coming up, but I don't think we've been formally told about that. And did you want council members there?
Thank you. I appreciate you asking that question because this is an opportunity for us to advertise. We do have a open house scheduled for next Tuesday from 5 to 8 p.m. to be held in Weds. This is an open house that we've had invitations sent to property owners in Daytona Beach and any operators that we were aware of, and advertise in the newspaper and on social media as well. So that is our next step is to go through all of the regulations, sharing applications. It's a team effort on this one because we have bylaw enforcement, we have the clerk's department, we have planning and building and fire services as well. So we will all be there to help answer questions, to explain to people how they can apply, when they have when to apply, the deadline, and when bylaw enforcement will start kicking in for those that we are aware of that haven't applied yet. So myself or Clerk Tara can answer any further questions you might have.
Anything further?
No, I think that just my question. Do you want some council members there?
The answer, I think, is yes, we are always happy to have council there because you might want to also know what we're telling the residents. But certainly it's up to you if you would like to come or not. We'll probably report back to council on the outcome of the open house as well after it's completed.
Anything further from Tracy? Tracy, if I could ask you, just maybe somebody send out an email, time and place of this open house, this public meeting?
So the short-term rental open house is in
Yes.
Weds at the municipal building. And we'll have applications available and posters, and we'll have different stations set up so that people can talk to the specific departments and they'll have information available. For example, planning will have information on where they're permitted, and bylaw enforcement will have information about property standards.
Okay. Thank you. I think your work is over, Tracy. For tonight.
Thanks. Have a good evening.
Yeah, good night. Counselor Dreyfelt, what's your schedule?
I'm good, Mike. I'm here for the duration of the meeting.
What'd you do? Cancel your dinner?
I decided to go later, so I'm good.
Okay. Thank you. We'll move this along. Let's go back to correspondence. H, Brenda Pufik, if I pronounce it okay. The Women of Ontario Support Bill 5. Everybody's seen that. Any comments?
I believe that we already addressed this with a motion for item B. Is that correct, Tara?
It is, but she's a different group specifically supporting it a little bit differently. So that's why I did include both of them in there. And like a lot of the other municipalities are supporting it as well. So we just chose one of the municipalities because all of theirs are the same, but this one's a little bit different.
Okay, thank you.
Resolution, please, Clerk Tara.
Moved by Drewlard, seconded by Loveland, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich supports Bill 5, Stopping Harassment and Abuse by Local Leaders Act, requiring the Code of Conduct for municipal councillors and members of local boards to include a requirement to comply with workplace violence and harassment policies and permit municipalities and local boards to direct the integrity commissioner to apply to the court to vacate a member's seat if the commissioner's inquiry determines that the member has contravened the requirement, and that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to Brenda Pufik. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Droulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz.
Yes.
And that's carried.
I, Municipality of Moonbeam, a request to extend the moratorium on most pupil accommodation reviews. Anything from council on that? Clerk Tara, resolution, please.
Moved by Loveland, seconded by Dreyfus, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich supports the resolution of the Municipality of Moonbeam requesting the provincial government through the Minister of Education to extend the moratorium on most pupil accommodation reviews in order to allow municipalities, townships, neighborhoods, or subdivisions the opportunity to prosper, develop, and grow without being hindered by school closure because of the current low enrollments that could quickly change, and that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to Rob Flack, MPP, Karen Vecchio, MP, and the Municipality of Moonbeam. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Droulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz,
Yes.
and that's carried.
Thank you. J, Elgin County, request to review bylaw EC1 parking bylaw. Any comments from council? I will just comment briefly on that. This was before county council, and the origination of this was West Elgin. And we believe, or Elgin County believes, they were using dated information when they brought this forward. So it was handled at county council and then given back to West Elgin if they want to reintroduce this issue. It's up to them to do it. So Clerk Tara, please.
Moved by Dreyfus, seconded by Pemberton, that correspondence item 8J from Elgin County be received and filed. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Droulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz.
Yes.
And that's carried.
Okay, let's go to 9, the consent agenda.
Would you like me to do the correspondence
Oh, certainly.
as well? Okay, moved by Pemberton, seconded by Loveland, that relevant correspondence was reviewed. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Droulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz,
Yes.
and that's carried.
Thank you, Clerk Tara, for keeping me in line. The consent agenda. Is there anything in there that council wishes to discuss? I don't see any hands up or anybody waving. Clerk Tara, please.
Moved by Loveland, seconded by Droulard, that the items on the consent agenda be approved. Counselor Pemberton,
Yes.
Counselor Droulard,
Yes.
Counselor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hentz,
Yes.
and that's carried.
Okay, I'm going to go around the table and get everybody's thoughts on a break at this time prior to the main event. I'm seeing nods. Councilor Dreyfus, you're okay with a bit of a break?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, let's take 5 or 10, whatever it takes, and we'll return with our finance minister. Counselor Dreyfus, you're still with us?
Yes.
Okay.
Good to go. Yep.
Number 10, our Minister of Finance is going to deliver her 2023 operating budget. And I was asked fairly late in the day, and no time to react, if I had bought new shoes. But that's not the mayor that does that. It's the Minister of Finance buys new shoes. So,
No, it's the mayor. That's what I was always told in St. Thomas.
okay, well, I didn't buy new shoes, but I shined them up. So, CAO Treasurer's Report, Tracy, I'm going to hand it all over to you.
Actually, I'm going to hand it back to you to read your message from the mayor first.
Okay. I'm pleased to present the 2023 draft operating budget for the municipality of Dutton Dunwich. I would like to thank the commitment of staff and my fellow council members for their hard work and tough decisions to bring this budget forward. The 2023 budget theme is Resilient Dutton Dunwich. Over the past 3 years of the pandemic, the people of Dutton Dunwich came together and proved their resilience. Together, we not only overcame some of the greatest challenges we will ever experience, but we have thrived. Rapid growth has led to incredible opportunities, but has also made our needs more pressing. As we grow, our challenges are about looking out for future generations who will call Dutton Dunwich home. Our children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. It's about transforming Dutton Dunwich's tomorrow and defining a clear vision of what type of municipality we want to be. A community that will thrive in the future, that has greatness rooted in strength and community spirit. This budget reflects council's struggle with the challenge of current inflation while being conscious of the community's input. To achieve our vision, we have identified strategic goals and core responsibilities through a strategic plan which continues to guide us forward. The strategic core responsibilities are to appropriately manage the municipality's finances and resources while preparing for the financial future and with continued collaboration with external partners. The 2023 budget reinforces the municipality's commitment to strong fiscal stewardship. And now, CAO Treasurer Tracy.
In 2022, the municipality Dutton Dunwich continued to face the new realities created by the COVID-19 pandemic. However, Dutton Dunwich has remained strong, and this is a testament to all the individuals, businesses, and community organizations. The administration of the municipality experienced considerable changes in 2022. Nevertheless, the staff remained focused on modernizing services and processes to support the council's vision for the future of Dutton Dunwich. These efforts were based on the common objectives to find opportunities to make Dutton Dunwich a desirable, competitive, and economically vibrant place to live today, and its visions for tomorrow through the council's strategic priorities, which are vibrant community, economic opportunities, adequate, sustainable, and affordable infrastructure, and organizational excellence. Through all this, administration remains committed to modernizing and ongoing improvement to provide fiscal, responsible, and business-friendly culture in a viable manner. The operational budget is a very important step in this process. I would like to acknowledge the dedication of council, staff, committees, and community for all they have done over the past year to support the municipality. Truths of COVID-19 fiscal constraints and the need to find efficiencies have been continuous factors influencing revenues in the era of severity that municipalities have already been living in. Thus, staff remains focused on the use of municipal revenues, showing the value of our employees in the delivery of quality services to the public in accordance with the direction of council. So a little bit about Dutton Dunwich. Located in southwestern Ontario in the county of Elgin, Dutton Dunwich has a population of 4,152 residents. That's from the 2021 census, and a land area of 294.28 kilometers squared. Originally part of the Dunwich Township, Dutton was originally called Bennetville, then Lisgar. When the Canada Southern Railroad came through in 1872, the local station was named Dutton Station after the railroad's civil engineer. It was shortened to Dutton in 1881. Incorporated in 1998 through amalgamation of the village of Dutton and former township of Dunwich, it includes the hamlets of Wallacestown, Daytona Beach, and western parts of Iona and Iona Station. Strategic plan. The municipality of Dutton Dunwich continues to work to develop the municipality through responsible management and long-range planning while maintaining regard for urban, agricultural, tourism, and recreation with a vision for economic stability. In 2020, the municipality of Dutton Dunwich approved the 2020 to 2022 strategic plan. The plan outlines priorities within 4 key goals: to promote a community in which people are fully engaged and want to work, live, and play, to shape a community that competes and thrives in a rapidly changing world, to ensure our infrastructure fully serves our growing community needs, to continuously strengthen the Dutton Dunwich team to deliver adaptable, sustainable, efficient, and affordable services and growth. The strategic plan is used by Dutton Dunwich to align corporate goals and annual budgets with council priorities. Staff continue to work to ensure that the municipality remains healthy, engaged, and receives excellent services. The proposed 2023 budget is in alignment with the 2020 to 2022 Dutton Dunwich strategic plan. In spring of 2023, Council will be preparing and adopting a 2023 to 2027 strategic plan. Municipal services. So the lower tier portion of the tax rate, it provides animal control, building services, bylaw enforcement, cemeteries, development services, economic development, fire and emergency services, waste collection, municipal drains, road maintenance and capital works, street lighting, parks and recreation areas, water and wastewater. Elgin County provides to our Dutton Dunwich residents county roads and capital works, land ambulance services, social services and housing, library services, home for the aged, land use planning approval authority, and economic development. The Municipal Act 2001, Section 291, requires municipalities to prepare and adopt a budget, including estimates of all sums required during the year for the purposes of the municipality. Municipalities must adopt a balanced budget. The operating budget provides the necessary resources to deliver programs and services to meet the needs of our growing community and accommodate for inflationary pressures. Please note that all reserves and reserve fund balances on the next slide are estimates and subject to change with final year-end adjustments. Oh, sorry. Nope. Sorry, I got out of that. The municipality is governed by provincial legislation, including but not limited to the Municipal Act and the provincial policy statement. The 2023 budget is created by these regulations, as well as the following documents and regulations: Asset Management Plan, Strategic Plan, Official Plan, Planning Act, Building Code Act, Drainage Act, Bridge and Culvert Study Inspections, Highway Traffic Act, Ontario Standard for Roads and Public Works, Minimum Maintenance Standards, Canadian Labour Standards, Hours of Work, Occupational Health and Safety Act, Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks, Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry, and the Office of the Fire Marshal. At the end of 2022, our estimated closing balance for our reserves will be $2.131 million. In the 2023 budget, we are estimating $495,671 be transferred into our reserves and $303,517 be transferred out, leaving us with $2.336620 in our reserves, which is a very good start to get building up our reserves for future. The 2023 tax levy of Dutton Dunwich is $4,877,907, which results in a 5.98% tax increase. The 2023 tax levy will have the following impact on the median current value assessment. These figures are obtained from the Ministry of Finance online property tax analysis. A residential property with the CVA average of $215,000 will see an increase of $108.29 annually, and a farm with the assessment of $661,000 will see a $24.91 tax increase. The allotment of the property tax levy, health services, 6.86%, corporate services, 6.92%, other protective services, which will be your building, dog licensing, bylaw, emergency management, 1.72%, public works, 42.06%, fire rescue services, 7.50%, recreation and parks facilities, 10.86%, police services, 11.87%, development services, 2.72%, waste management, 6.83%, asset management, 0. That was put in there for the treasurer. Council, 2.66%. The budget summary for revenues. So in 2021, our revenues were estimated at 6.18. We come in at 7.81. These actual revenues will include transfer from reserves and grant revenues. 2022 budget was 6.7 million. We came in at 7.9. In 2023, the revenue is estimated at 6.927. And I must point out, a good question was asked to me earlier, why the revenue for taxes is higher than the tax levy. And that includes a $95,000 estimate in supplementaries and omits and a $40,000 estimate in write-offs for properties that change use or anything like that. So that's the difference in that revenue. Expenditures for 2021, we estimated 6.18 and we come in at 7.2. These will include all capital works. 2022, our budget was 6.7. We come in at 8.4. That also includes 1.2 in capital expenses. Our 2023 expenses are 6.927883. And as you can see on the total levy, it is a zero budget, which is demanded by the Municipal Act. In 2021, we come in with a surplus of 297,000, just shy of 298. On the unaudited year end right now is a deficit of 473,196, but that includes 300 and just shy of 325,000 in unfunded capital. Are there any questions? I know that was very quick.
Council has spent a great deal of time on this, so I don't know as we have any more questions, but Nora, you've studied it?
Well, I did have a question that she clarified for. I don't know, that your bylaw enforcement and expenditures. Oh, does that have to be on the?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're being recorded.
Fine. Bylaw enforcement, you're estimating of 12,000. I mean, it's a little thing, but are we expecting more problems? Or it's not animals, it's something else?
That, if you notice that the actuals for 2022 were very low, that's because we lost our bylaw company. And so we had no bylaw for the last part of the year. We have a new bylaw company and they are a little more expensive than the previous one. So we expect, with a full year of them actually being here and helping us, it will be a little higher.
Got it. Okay.
Anything further? Everybody's quiet, Tracy. This was an ordeal. I think it was complicated with an election and a lot going on, but you pulled it together. I know there was a lot of late nights, weekends, and hard work went into it. So I just publicly want to thank Tracy for all her work on this thing. On top of everything else she does, she managed to pull this budget together, and it was difficult. So thank you very much.
one more question?
Sure.
Reserves. That means we don't have any of that money. We're just hoping that we'll get the money? Is that what that means?
Those, that is money that we have set aside on paper, yes.
We're hoping for it.
It's money that's there. We don't, municipalities never really actually don't have a bank account with that amount in it, but we have it to use. We try to put away every year money into a reserve for certain things like vehicle and equipment or bridges or anything like that. So that when you do have a big project, you've got the money and you don't have to put it on the tax rate. So,
It's available.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Or fire
Or
trucks.
borrow it, yes, exactly, yes, yeah.
Okay.
And borrowing, as we all know, has suddenly become very expensive. So we want to reduce our dependence on our line of credit that's borrowed money and use our own money to run this corporation. It's a work in progress, but we will get there. Okay, everybody's happy? Relieved? Combination of the both. Clerk Tara.
Moved by Drulard, seconded by Dreyfus, that the council of the municipality of Dutton Dunwich approves the 2023 operating budget as presented from the CAO treasurer. Councillor Pemberton,
Yes.
Councillor Drulard,
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hens.
Yes,
And that's carried.
thank you. Unfinished business. Tara, you have an item?
Yes, so we just need to have council confirm that they did receive the 2022 annual compliance report from the water department at the last meeting. We needed in a resolution. So we're just going to have you guys confirm that now. Moved by Dreyfus, seconded by Pemberton, whereas section 22 of OReg 170/03 requires distribution of the summary report, and further that the council of the municipality of Dutton Dunwich confirms that it received the 2022 annual compliance report at the March 8th, 2022 council meeting as part of the water operations manager monthly activity report, February 2023 for information. Councillor Pemberton,
Yes.
Councillor Drulard,
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland,
Yes.
Mayor Hens.
Yes.
And that's carried.
New business.
She slaps my hand a lot.
She does me too. Go ahead, Tracy.
I would just kind of want to have a discussion about the West Lorne Minor Hockey Association request for support that council approved earlier. I'm not sure, and I think Deputy Mayor Loveland can maybe help me out a little bit with this. I heard through the grapevine today that they weren't going to use our facility because Kraft Hockeyville wanted it more in West Elgin. So I was going to suggest that council has already approved, I think it was around an $800,000, up to 800,000, geez, I'm talking budget numbers, $800 kind of donation to use the community center. And I just thought if that wasn't needed and they didn't need that rental anymore, if we could maybe give a little bit to the firemen to help to pay for the food for the firemen's breakfast to help them out. I know it will be held in West Elgin, but I know both both communities' fire departments are helping out. It was just something I wanted to bring forward because I wasn't sure on whether they were going to be using that rental. So any comments would be helpful. Thank you.
This morning, and I think things changed pretty quickly dealing with that company, but this morning she told us at the arena board meeting that, right, Kraft did want to see as much as they could held in the town where the arena was, but they were still planning on using it this morning anyways as a voting center. So that's the last I heard. I don't think they were planning on doing much more than that with it, so they may not even need the whole thing, I don't know.
So could I maybe put a resolution on the table that we keep in contact with them and we, if they don't need the rental, we do something with the firemen or something along that line? I don't want to just see us not support them somehow, but if they don't need the rental, I know the firemen, you know, instead of going and trying to get donations or paying for it, we could, you know, help them buy the food or something along that line or.
Counselor Pemberton.
Yeah, I guess I just have a question. How much are the firemen needing?
Fire Chief Shul.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. I can comment on that. The firefighters breakfast, we were approached to support with that. And at this point, I believe that at training last night that the firefighters approved through their association to be involved with the Craft Hockeyville. And at this point, the fire department or the firefighters association, obviously there's an ask with council, but at this point, either the fire department or the firefighters association would cover the costs to help the Craft Hockeyville breakfast that will be held in West Lawrence. So at this point, we're full support based on council and our firefighters. However, we were looking for some clarity if it would be a fire department funded activity or if this would be more of a Dutton Dunwich funded activity based on council's approval. Either way, we're in, but just want to give that ask out for council.
I guess I didn't hear the answer to that question, and I'm not sure you have it. How much are we looking for?
I believe they're looking for a nominal amount of local suppliers such as Foodland, local bread or bun suppliers, that sort of stuff to supply the breakfast itself. And from what I understand, they're looking for a quick serve breakfast, not so much a full sausage, eggs, that sort of stuff. More of Pimo bacon, egg type sandwiches that are easily pre-made and easily put out. And there's no cost, I believe, at this point to anyone that's attending that fundraiser. I believe there's a donation booth putting out requesting donations, but there's no actual funding. Thank you.
So other than the voting, they're going to set up a voting center at our community center. No other use of the building then?
I don't think so. I can double check with Jessica. And just make sure, but yeah.
Would the small meeting room suffice for that?
I'll check and see.
Okay.
And I don't know if they really know either at this time. Maybe it's changing so quickly there, so.
Well, I think there's unanimous support for this to happen. So, and things are changing daily, so I think we just go with the flow on this thing and you guys figure out what you need, and there has been a commitment of funds, the community center, and where it inevitably goes, time will tell.
Mr. Mayor, we can keep track of the receipts at the fire department and we can work with the CAO treasurer to find out where that funding will come from. But obviously there's unanimous support with council as well as our firefighters. So I don't think that's a stumbling block, and we'll deal with it with CAO and Treasurer Tracy.
Yeah, we can always bring a report back that we didn't use the approved amount for the rental and that we put it towards help to pay for the food or something along that line.
As long as you don't have a blank check.
No, he knows me better.
Or you'll.
Yeah, no fire trucks.
Okay, thank you. Everybody good with all of that? It's short notice and it's coming fast, so I think we just got to go with the flow on this, and yeah, and it is a big deal. There's no doubt about it. Okay, thank you, Tracy. Okay.
Mayor Hens, I have one
Yes.
item I'd like to discuss.
Yep, go ahead, Councillor.
Okay, I was reminded by Tracy that the Heritage Committee has an open house on March the 29th and it's in reference to heritage property designations. And it's at the council chambers, in the council chambers from 4 till 7. So that's March 29th, council chambers from 4 till 7. And it's heritage properties, heritage property designation explained. There's a lot of myths out there, and we're gathering people together who are on the heritage registry and clarifying and explaining how designation works and how it impacts their property. So it's more of an information session than anything else. So anyone from council is welcome to attend if you have any questions. I did send an email out to council of the date and the time, so you'll have it for record. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Dreyfus. And announcements. Tara, you have an announcement.
My announcement was covered by the planner earlier regarding the short-term accommodation open house.
Okay, thank you. And I don't know whether it's an announcement, but I just want to commend staff and Councillor Dreyfus for a well-planned COVID kindness event on the weekend. It covered 2 days because of wind conditions for the fireworks, but good participation. Everybody had a great time. I just thought it was an excellent community event. So my thanks to everybody involved in that. And on the fireworks, I met with Ryan Brown yesterday. Now Ryan lives down on Pioneer Line. He did not attend the fireworks, but his kids saw them and loved them. So you didn't have to attend to enjoy the fireworks.
Great, good to hear.
I don't know whether you could hear him.
Yeah, somebody asked Gerald if he was setting fireworks off in his backyard. Somebody in Wallstown, because they could hear him so clear.
It truly was a community event. Okay, any other announcements? We've just got some bylaws, so Clerk Tara, we can do the Pierce Drain bylaw.
Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Drulard, that bylaw 2023-10, being a bylaw to borrow on the credit of the corporation in the amount of $46,000 for the improvement of the Pierce Drain, be read a third time and passed. Councillor Pemberton?
Yes.
Councillor Drulard?
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland?
Yes.
Mayor Hintz?
Yes,
And that's carried.
I guess you're on a roll. The fees bylaw.
Moved by Drulard, seconded by Loveland, that bylaw 2023-17, being a bylaw to establish various fees and tariffs for services provided by the municipality of Dutton Dunwich, be read a first, second, and third time and passed. Councillor Pemberton?
Yes.
Councillor Drulard?
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland?
Yes.
Mayor Hintz?
Yes,
And that's carried.
and bylaw 2023-21, zoning bylaw amendment.
Moved by Loveland, seconded by Dreyfus, that bylaw 2023-21, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2022-50 for property located at 31492 Pioneer Line, 31556 Pioneer Line, and vacant land located on the north side of Pioneer Line be read a first, second, and third time and passed. Councillor Pemberton?
Yes.
Councillor Drulard?
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland?
Yes.
And that's carried.
Can I vote? Oh, I
That's the one
couldn't
you
on that one.
declared a pecuniary interest.
You're on top of things, thank you.
Moved by Dreyfus, seconded by Drulard, that bylaw 2023-22, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2022-50 for property located at 28786 Aberdeen Line and 28800 Aberdeen Line, be read a first, second, and third time and passed. Councillor Pemberton?
Yes.
Councillor Drulard?
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland?
Yes.
Mayor Hintz?
Yes,
That's carried. Moved by Drulard, seconded by Loveland, that bylaw 2023-23 being a bylaw to authorize the corporation of the municipality of Dutton Dunwich to enter into a master services agreement with Circular Materials for services related to blue box material be read a first, second, and third time and passed. Councillor Pemberton?
Yes.
Councillor Drulard?
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland?
Yes.
Mayor Hens?
Yes.
And that's carried. And moved by Loveland, seconded by Pemberton, that bylaw 2023-24 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the municipal council of the municipality of Dutton Dunwich be read a first, second, and third time and passed. Councillor Pemberton?
Yes.
Councillor Drulard?
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland?
Yes.
Mayor Hens?
Yes.
And that's carried.
Okay, everybody sees the date of the future meetings. You'll be back by then, Councillor Dreyfus?
I hope so.
Thank you.
I speed rap for you, Henry, so you can get back to your drinking and sunning.
You did well today. You did really well today.
Thank you, Henry. Enjoy your holiday.
Thank
We
you.
won't bother you again.
Wait, don't leave, Henry.
One more resolution.
For
Go ahead, Clerk Tara.
Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Drulard, that the meeting of the council of the municipality of Dutton Dunwich closes at 7:15 PM. Councillor Pemberton?
Yes.
Councillor Drulard?
Yes.
Councillor Dreyfus?
From sunny Mexico, yes.
Deputy Mayor Loveland?
Yes.
And Mayor Heads.
Yes.
And that's carried.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a
Enjoy
good
your
evening.
vacation.
Yeah, take care, Henry.
Bye-bye.